This story seems completely made up until you check the police report, because the police officially confirmed many of the family's claims about their haunting experience, making their story seem more credible. If that's not enough, there is also a Netflix movie called Veronica that also claims to be based on true events. In 1992, a police station in Madrid, Spain, received a frantic phone call from Maximo Gutierrez, claiming that he and his wife were being attacked by tall shadowy figures. The responding officer didn't believe his initial claims, but decided to check it out, just in case it was a home invasion. Upon arrival, there were no signs of forced entry or theft, and the police noted that the house was eerily quiet. They called the Gutierrez family back inside to speak with them now that the house appeared safe. However, as soon as they sat down to talk, a loud bang was heard from the porch, which the police described as sounding like a large boulder falling and rolling. They ran outside to investigate, but found nothing. As they stood there, puzzled, one of the officers yelled "Duck!" as an armoire door swung open violently, narrowly missing one officer's head. At this point, they thought it could be a prank, so they checked the armoire, but found no evidence of trickery, and there was no one around. A few officers decided it was too much and went outside to wait, while the remaining officers went back to the living room to talk to the Gutierrez family about what was going on. Gutierrez then shared the tragic story of their 18-year-old daughter Estefania, who had passed away a few years earlier, and how they believed her death was connected to the haunting in their house. Estefania attended a very religious school, and when a teacher caught her and her friends using a Ouija board, the teacher became upset. She smashed the board and told them it was not acceptable. When the teacher broke the board, she also destroyed the small glass plaquette they were using, and both the teacher and the students claimed to have seen smoke coming from the plaquette. Estefania allegedly inhaled this smoke. From that moment, her physical and mental health deteriorated. Estefania began telling her parents about strange people she saw in the house, particularly at night when she was in bed. These shadow figures would crawl out of the closet or through the door and move around her room, sometimes even grabbing her. The parents took her to doctors, but no one could explain what was happening. Without a diagnosis, they watched in horror as their daughter's condition worsened until, one night, she suddenly died in her bed without an official cause of death. After her death, the family began noticing strange occurrences in the house, and they believed this was when the haunting began. While they were telling the police about these events, they all heard screaming and banging coming from Estefania's room. The officers jumped up in fear and they, along with the father, rushed to the room. When they opened the door, no one was inside, yet the screaming continued. The crucifix that normally hung on the wall was now on the floor, and the wall where it had been mounted had deep scratches that hadn't been there just 30 minutes earlier. The police continued to search the room but couldn't find the source of the screaming. As they examined the room, they began hearing pounding sounds from inside the walls. One of the officers noticed a picture of Estefania on the floor. When he picked it up, the frame was undamaged, but the picture of Estefania inside had burned through. Outside the room, another officer noticed a strange crimson-colored goo on some of the furniture in the house, an unfamiliar substance neither the family nor the officers had seen before. Not knowing what to make of the situation, the police suggested the family leave the house as quickly as possible, and they eventually did. As soon as the Gutierrez family left, all paranormal activities ceased. The official police report is filled with extraordinary events witnessed by the officers, including the chief inspector of the force, who swore to have witnessed some of the events, making this one of the most eerie and unexplained cases in police history. Recently, this case was adapted into a Netflix movie called Veronica, which many people claim is the scariest film they've ever seen.